Welcome to Thinking Outside the Soil with your host, Shawnee Alfalfaseed, where we get to talk story and touch on topics about hydroponics and the farmers who grow the crops and creatures we need to eat. Good morning, and hello from Blooming Health Farms, and thank you for being with me on this beautiful morning. I took last week off and it was really great. I try to take a week off every quarter, a week off from the hustle and bustle of doing the business and kind of reframe and refocus and then just plan for the next quarter. So this past week was my 13th week, and so I do 4 sessions and then 4 planning weeks, which coincidentally comes out to 52 weeks. So it's really great, and this past week we got a new employee. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I don't know how many of you out there have ever had to look for a job, but unfortunately, because of my drinking career and wearing a lot of metal bracelets, I've had to look for a lot of jobs. Well, the last time that I got out of jail, a little over 6 years ago, one of the places that I had to go was a temporary employment agency. And they were able to help me find a decent job that paid enough to where I could save up. And I was able to save up enough money where I could put a down payment on a house and this piece of property, where I'm now able to do our pilot programs here at what we're calling the Alpha site. So it's fantastic that there are resources out there for individuals that are seeking employment. One of those resources here in our area is provided by the county government. Weld County Employment Services acts as a stopgap for individuals looking for employment, and essentially they are able to offer diagnostic testing and then workforce development as well as job placement for individuals. So as part of what they do, they partner with local businesses, vet them, and then find out what it is they're able to offer. And the employment services operates under the Workforce Opportunity Initiative grant. And I may have that slightly dyslexic or dyslexic. Sometimes I mess up the WOIA. And so that individual is getting a wage through a federal grant program, and the companies get employment essentially in exchange for doing some job training. Well, one of our focuses here at Blooming Health Farms is to do job training, is to do workforce development, and what I love to do, something that I enjoy thoroughly, is teaching. I love to teach. I love to train. I love to see that light come on in the eyes of others, whatever it is that they need or do or whatever. As soon as you see that come on, it's just like, oh my goodness. And I do that because somebody once did that for me. They actually did that a lot of times for me, over and over and over. And I've talked extensively about some of those mentors. If you're interested in knowing more, check out the shows about me that dive into a little bit more about me rather than hydroponics or Blooming Health Farms. Well, a couple weeks ago, I got a call from Employment Services and said, hey, Sean, we've got a viable candidate. Could we send him over, do an interview? I think he'd be great for you. And so I brought him in and found an individual that will satisfy some of the administrative and secretarial needs that we have at this moment. I have a slew of paperwork, as many of those out there that have started up a business or have tried to run a business on their own. I unfortunately fell into the solopreneur mentality when managing a nonprofit as an executive director, and so I did a lot of things to move the business forward without doing some of the necessary, data entry stuff. So what that looks like here at Blooming Health Farms is that I love handwritten documents. So we print out a lot of documents and then fill them out with a pen. And I have stacks of paperwork that need to be digitized. So Philip is currently digitizing some of those records right now, and he is in that effort is learning some of the digital tools that we believe are necessary to move forward in today's world. And one tool or one set of tools that we are going to lean into and that we use extensively are the Google Workspace apps and software that they have. As a nonprofit, we're able to procure and use most of those tools at no cost to ourselves. So we have a robust set of tools that we're able to use that are open source. And so I have seen myself and other individuals start a business from scratch on a public computer or their cell phone or smartphone rather, and use all of those open source tools and effectively communicate. A free word processor, a free spreadsheet, a free PowerPoint presentation type tool, free analytical stuff, and even a free website. Yeah, Google has free websites at google.sites. So you can essentially use all of these things. Well, another thing that's fantastic as a nonprofit is that we were able to access a program called Grow with Google. Grow with Google is a database of resources for educators, for employers, and one of those resources they have on there are curriculums to teach their digital tools. So they have already developed the curriculum and the processes in order to teach these things out. So one of the apps Google has and has integrated in a way is their Google Classroom app. And so they have a pretty robust set of educational tools for those of us out there that can take advantage of those. And so I'm able to have individuals remotely and or physically here when they're next to me, log in, run this program, run this software, and go through it. And then I'm able to go into the back end, much like a teacher, and do all of the grading and look at the rubrics, etc., etc. So we are super excited to be able to lean into some of these tools. We recognize that, I recognize I haven't been leaning into these free resources enough in order to show others out there what it is we're doing and what it is we've done. I mentioned that we have very little of our documents digitized, and one of the challenges with not having digitized documents is that it's very challenging, if not almost impossible, to do a good data analysis on that. And so I'm not able to clearly show with data what it is we're doing, the results that we've seen so far with the youth that I've worked with. So what we've been blessed with is an opportunity because of this federal workforce grant that the Employment Services of Weld County is able to utilize with us. I've got some extra room to do what it is I love to do, and what I love to do is grow plants, grow eggs, and then sell them to you. And of course, all of the things that get those to become the best tomato and the best eggs, I enjoy that the most. And then the other thing I really love to do is science. I love to do the research. I love to do the data analysis. I love to do the back end work. So I have seen now that I get a chance to lean into that area that I have slightly neglected by teaching another individual how to do some of the basic data entry and initial analysis. And then I'll get to naturally bubble up and be excited about what he's curated, and I then get to go in and satisfy that other nerdy part of my brain. But that is all I have for us on this lovely morning. If you've enjoyed this episode or any of the other ones in the past, please do leave a review below the show so others know why they should stick around as well. And if you're interested in learning more about how hydroponic fodder is helping farmers like us save water, improve our livestock quality, like the eggs that we are getting, and then helping us all become better stewards, head on over to thinkingoutsidethesoil.com and get yourself a copy of my book. It's also now available on audio on Audible, so head on over there. And if you don't have an Audible subscription, you can get a copy of my book for free. Actually, literally free. So head on over to thinkingoutsidethesoil.com or check out the show notes below and follow those links so that you don't miss out on becoming part of this next agricultural revolution. And thank you for being with me today. Join us again on another episode of Thinking Outside the Soil. Take care and have a lovely day. Hey, before you go, check out the links below. And if you'd be so kind as to leave a rating and review and follow the show. For those with feathered friends, don't forget to get yourself some of our Blooming Health Farms Chicken Blend Sprouting Mix. This supplemental mix has been shown to give you some of the best eggs with the yummiest yolks. You'll have happy, healthy hens that abandon the feeder and give you eggs with high levels of vitamin A and omega fatty acids. So don't forget to get yourself some Blooming Health Farms Chicken Blend Sprouting Mix.